First of all, I'd like to welcome the Minister to the House. And Minister, you've had a very difficult time in your first year as Minister for Health, and I want to congratulate you on the great work that you're doing, and under very difficult time and very difficult circumstances. Like a lot of people have had this very tough, and while the public service and the civil service, we have been very well looked after, and we have a lot to be thankful for, that all of those that are on the public purse. But there's an awful lot of small businesses and people in the hospitality and the service industry who are at their wits' end at the moment. And when, as Senator McDougall has said, that when you look back, could some things have been done differently? And maybe we should. We had several debates, I presume, over the last 12 months in relation to COVID-19, but they're all statements. Maybe it's something that could be done differently, because you come in here and you make a statement, and at times you think there's nobody listening to you, and maybe there isn't anybody listening to you either. So maybe those debates could be structured in a different way, that we would get something constructive out of them. Because I think Senator McDougall has put his finger on it. We're here at a crunch now to extend this time limit, and we haven't said whether we have learned anything from the last 6 or 8 months. And I think that we should have learned a lot from the last couple of lockdowns. And the government at one stage were saying that outdoors, they came to the conclusion that outdoors, you're safer outdoors. But at the same time, the government were pushing everybody nearly indoors. You couldn't travel outside 5 kilometres. I come from a huge county where we have some of the finest walks in the world, but they're all miles and miles away from everybody else, even within the county. But they couldn't go there, and you'd wonder why. They're going to be much healthier there than they were inside in a house. And I think that is something that we should have looked at. And maybe Senator McDowell is right. The county lockdown, maybe not the thing, maybe it's a regional lockdown. But there is no, I suppose, some of the problems came from your own county, I suppose, where the Dublin people went out to the Wicklow Mountains in large numbers. And maybe that small bit of bad press that was at that stage was part of the problem. Well, the conclusion that I've come to at the moment is that there's no danger outdoors. So maybe it's something to be looked at. I'd like to support Senator Coyne as well. We did meet with the air travel and the pilots today, and they're in a very difficult, going through a very difficult period as well. A lot of them have huge mortgages, and that's on one hand. But on the other hand, our tourist industry could suffer greatly, and we as an island nation, as has been said on numerous occasions, we need air transport, we need connectivity. And we see where Spain and Portugal and all Italy and all of Greece, all of those countries are opening up, but at the same time we're not opening up to the same degree. And I think we have to have a plan, and that the plan has to be in the short term, that we need to open up by the 1st of July, certainly for travel, in my view, because lots of hotels, when you look around the city here in Dublin, most of the hotels are closed, and the pilots are very adamant that antigen testing is something that can be of great benefit to them and to that industry. And it's been used all over the world, but at the same time, NEPIT don't seem to have any great confidence, and you'd wonder why in relation to antigen testing. And lots of members of this House and the other House have been putting forward that antigen testing should be used more. And I certainly agree with it, because if it only catches one person, and I think we have the farcical situation where the Department of Health are going out to the airport to get antigen testing done. That's what we are told. But at the same time, it can't be used at the airport. So those are things I think that we should be discussing in greater detail and in more time, because we have failed. Minister McDowell, you're right. This House has failed. We have had no time to debate this, not just this that we're not debating, but there are several other bills that we're not debating either. The previous one was guillotined, and I'm not in favour of the guillotine, I have to say, but in some stages or some cases it has to be used if there's emergency or whatever. But there's no great emergency here at times, and I think that we should look at that aspect of things, and we should have a greater debate